spatial data and infrastructure, a future frontier technology. Julie, or better known as Rachel, is a global tech business professional at MESA, a full-fledged spatial data platform that helps companies manage construction site projects. And Rachel worked at Google, Accenture, and Australian state government, encompassing both private sectors, global tech platforms, IT consulting, and public sector. Is an infra-tech leader with field experience of actively listening to global clients' business problems and solving them together. Please welcome Rachel.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be able to share my experience and global best practices around construction projects and technology. The topic that I will cover today is spatial data and infrastructure and the future of frontier technology. My name is Rachel Sumi Cho. I'm the Chief Business Officer at MESA. And I would like to say thank you again to invite me over to this great Global Project Management Forum. I'm also the Vice President of Global Business Development at MESA, which is a spatial data platform. Just to begin with, I want to cover up what MESA is. So it starts from 2017. It's been 5 years, and from 0 construction sites, it has built more than 170 construction sites. They're using this platform to manage their projects in Korea and across the world. We have global presence in the United States and Singapore. We have built business pipelines in Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia. This innovative pathway has been achieved only in 4 years with a very small tech startup in South Korea with only over 50 people. And you can see here EPC companies named Hyundai Engineering, POSCO, DOENC. They are all the top construction companies in the world. To go back, the topics that I picked are 2. One is spatial data, and the other is infrastructure. And I'm going to wrap it up with the future of frontier technology. If you don't have time, I'm just going to summarize what I'm going to cover today. Firstly, in G20 Infra Tech, there was digitalization on infrastructure agenda, and I want to quickly cover up what that is. Moving on to the needs of digital twin, what that is, why we need that, and the obstacles and the challenges to implement the digital twin in reality. Moving on to the 4th, I want to cover how MESA solves problems with step-by-step approach. And in conclusion, I will suggest the future of technology and how the infrastructure industry will turn into the different stage. So here you can see the 3 layers. At the bottom, in G20 Infratech agenda, 19 countries, they covered how they can develop global economy in a better way. And 6 tech enablers were mentioned: device automation, connectivity, cloud and data storage, analytics and computation, platforms and interfaces, and materials, energy, and construction. These are the 6 tech enablers which can build the ground to improve the infrastructure lifecycle. They divide into 5 parts: design, pre-construction, construction, operation, and maintenance. Throughout the life cycle, if we invest proper amount of financial resources, human resources, This can improve the infrastructure life cycle. In turn, overall society, economic, environmental, and social benefits can be taken from all different countries. I want to highlight how important it is to digitalize construction and infrastructure industry to enhance overall utility and value of infrastructure lifecycle. When we imagine infrastructure projects, we can think of residential building construction, oil and gas construction, rails, roads, highways, and etc. Those infrastructure technologies have common characteristics. One, longer maturity. Projects usually go with 10 years up to 40 years, which requires heavy investment. Secondly, the duration of the project is usually not just long, also you have to finance enough to source the project. Consequences of that characteristics are you need to pay much more attention when you plan infrastructure projects, especially construction. Imagine you're the construction project manager. You can't be there, space-wise, you can't physically be there all the time. Secondly, you don't know what's really happening in the construction site all the time. And then lastly, the bigger the size of construction sites are, the more personnel it requires, meaning we need to put more money to hire people. A total of three, those that we call constraints of infrastructure projects. And at this moment, the concept of digital twin comes up. The digital twin means virtual representation of the physical sites that we can actually see the reality through digital space. And now we understand why we need digital twin in the context of infrastructure projects. And what's the problem? The obstacles and challenges to implement digital twin goes to two parts. I'm going to talk about data. Firstly, think about residential building construction sites. There must be pipes, concretes, sands, etc. Even if you use hardwares to capture what that is, the data itself has various shapes and structures, meaning you cannot compare with apples and oranges. Secondly, that means you have to standardize unstructured data to structured data. That requires you to have firstly collect as many data as possible through multiple channel observation data. Secondly, you need to have an engine technology to process, standardize from unstructured data to structured data. It sounds easy. However, over the world, not many startups/tech startups have the engine to actually run that happen. So here's the core part of the presentation today. The MESA that I'm working for as a Chief Business Officer, we solve these problems in two phases. Firstly, we collect data with various characteristics, which will eliminate space constraints. And in the future, we're going to move towards digital twin, which will also include analyzing unstructured data, and you can make decisions based upon the analysis that we call digital twin. Now let's look at in more details about the technology and the solution itself. The project management, you can see the processes from design to construction. From design, it goes drawing, BIM modeling, and pre-construction, you can see you prepare for estimating tender management. And the core part of process is construction. You manage your projects and you control your quality. You track the progress and you verify whether or not your plan goes well with your actual execution. When you look at the bottom line here, it starts from drawings. The MESA solution starts from utilizing drawings and taking pictures from drawings and transferring that into the 3D modeling so that you can see what's happening in the construction sites. That covers measurement, civil work, calculation. It means after taking pictures, images from drawing, it automatically calculates the amount of civil work that needs to be done. And the second part, interestingly, is workforce safety management. Do you know how many people are actually dying in the construction sites or infrastructure construction sites? So this feature covers where your personnel are, how they're moving around, and it also detects dangerous spots so that people can be prevented from any dangerous or even incidents. The third feature is drawing to drawing. So you have a planning drawing, you have a drawing working in progress. You can compare that by overlaying those two drawings. The last feature is drawing to site. So you combine drawing information with the site information. You have an integrated way to manage and check the progress of the project. I will go over one by one in detail about what that is. First is plan overlay. As you can see, you can quickly detect errors in building environments. You don't have to go there. What you need is drones. Drones will automatically fly around, take pictures, and the engine that I mentioned will create a scene like that. Secondly, and personally, I think this feature is the most important part. I know here in the audience, you guys are all the experts in project management industry. When it comes to project management, I always say science and art. Science comes with planning, execution, meet the deadline, get things done. Whereas art comes with leadership, communication, how you manage people. How can we improve communication and how can we improve the art parts and the project management? We need to have a one aligned spot that every stakeholder is on the same page. Imagine your contractors, developers, all the outsourcing companies. They have different interests. They have different timelines. However, every single one is impacting each other. To communicate efficiently, we need a unified channel, and this is what it provides. Cross-sectional maps you can see underneath of the land so that you can compare design plans and inspect for errors. You can track earthwork progress and calculate the earthwork volume. And lastly, safety monitoring. The dot color, sky blue, red, those are all people working in the construction sites. You can prevent safety accidents through real-time and remote monitoring. I'm going to wrapping up with all the presentation by saying the future is digital twin. We're not just using drones, we use 360 cameras, CCTV, mobile, IoT sensors, LiDAR, and even up in the altitude satellites. By combining all different kind of data, what you can see is with higher reliability, higher accuracy as a result. This is a real example that we conducted this year in Laos, Mekong River. We cover up, actually use this solution, and we turn that into that. I would like to finish my presentation by covering up 2 pages. One, with the software and the multiple source hardwares, the future of frontier technology is here. From construction, land and cities, oil and gas, maritime, agriculture. That's industry that will be impacted by the data platform that I just mentioned. But I urge you to be mindful that the digital twin will allow the site to be fully reproduced. Now we need to be cooperative when it comes to public-private partnership, because the infrastructure industry is a heavy industry. Even if the innovative technology does exist in the world, it cannot be grown by itself. If you're interested in the solution, if you want to know more about me and my company, please let me know. My name is Rachel Sumi Cho. Thanks for listening.
Thank you indeed.